Hello everyone out in video land. We're going to continue our reading from Futuring, the Exploration of the Future by Edward Cornish. We're halfway through chapter 2 and we'll give you a quick screen grab of that graph we were just looking at, the 3 technological revolutions. You could freeze frame that and check them out closer if you like. And we'll continue on with the cybernetic revolution. The cybernetic revolution. The computer's influence on today's society has been so broad and powerful that this new technology can reasonably be compared with grain cultivation and the steam engine as the catalyst of a new technological revolution. This third revolution originated with Harvard professor Howard Aiken's conception in 1937 of a large-scale automatic digital calculator that could perform very quickly an enormous number of mathematical calculations. At the time, nobody was ready to fund the development of this machine, but after World War II broke out, the U.S. military wanted such a device for ballistic calculations. Aiken got the money he needed. This was perhaps the first of a number of key assists that the U.S. government would give to the development of computers. IBM built this computer according to Aiken's specifications in a laboratory in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and it was ready for duty in 1944. The first computer had more than 750,000 parts and filled a room, but it could do arithmetic at the rate of 3 additions per second, far faster than a human being. Speed was its key virtue in wartime America. The basic advantage of the computer was that it could do what humans had always had to do in the past. It could make decisions, and it could make them faster and cheaper than could humans. Once a computer had been given the suitable set of algorithms, precise instructions on how to make a series of decisions, the computer could accomplish in seconds a task that might occupy humans for days. Computers got more support from the U.S. government after World War II because U.S. military leaders knew that the Soviets were at hard work developing atomic bombs and rockets. Alarmed, Congress appropriated almost any amount of money and military claimed it needed for defense, and much was the money went to the development of computers as well as other areas of science and technology. Electronics in general became a top defense department priority because military leaders had been deeply impressed with the effectiveness of communications and detention systems in winning wars. Without radar, the British would have likely lost the battle against German aircraft, and without sonar, most of the ships carrying essential supplies to Britain would have been sunk. After sonar appeared, German Admiral Karl Dominitz, who commanded his nation's submarines, lamented, "The enemy has rendered the U-boat ineffective. He has achieved this objective not through superior tactics or strategy, but through his superiority in the field of science. This finds its expression in the modern battle weapon, detention. By this means, he has torn from our hands the sole offensive weapon in the war against the Anglo-Saxons." The drive to maintain military superiority over the Soviets stimulated a broad demand for innovative technologies, and since new technologies depend critically on scientific advancements, the arms race morphed into a knowledge race. In 1950, Congress passed legislation creating a National Science Foundation, a special government agency to spend tax dollars money for basic scientific research. Since scientists were eager to use computers, NFS money also nourished computer development. The 1950s and 60s were a halcyon period for science and technology. Almost any U.S. physical scientist with a reasonable research proposal could get funding for it. Never in history had scientists had it so good, and they responded with a wealth of new discoveries that had significant applications to technology. Computers became a hot area for both business and government. Companies could see enormous possibilities for using computers not only to process records, but also to take numerous other tasks. The computer initiated a major transformation in the production, financing, marketing, and distribution of goods and services in the U.S. economy. With the advent of microcomputers in the 1970s, the economic transformation intensified since individuals and very small businesses were able to have computers. In the 1980s, as personal computers proliferated, the internet developed into a covenant, I don't know what that word, vehicle for ordinary people to communicate instantaneously with each other. By the beginning of the 21st century, cell phones were being linked into global network interconnected computers and telecommunication systems, which communication scholar Joseph Pelton describes as the world's largest machine. If people opt to have internet links implanted in their bodies, which seems likely in the future, the new type of being will emerge, a huge cyber organism with a body that is just part protoplasm, part electronics and photonics, and part cyberspace. Future revolutions. Technology seems nearly certain to advance even faster during the 21st century than it did during the 20th. Business firms are investing far more now in technology than they were at the start of the last century, and new technologies such as computers are dramatically boosting the productivity of scientists and technologists. The computer has increased in the effective intelligence of humans just as the steam engine increased their physical power, and the future amplification of human intellectual power promises to be mind-boggling. Computers may surpass humans in intelligence very soon. Already they are able to beat the best human players at chess. As a result of the computer's enormous boost to science and technology, a fourth technological revolution may already have started in biotechnology, notably in genetics. We cannot be sure of this because it will take time for biotechnology to restructure the economy in a manner that can be compared to the steam engine and the computer. Biotechnology promises revolutionary changes that could be even more extraordinary than those wrought by the computer. Genetic engineering has already started to redesign plants and animals so that they can be more productive and satisfactory to human purposes. And there are numerous applications in industrial production. However, the most important applications are likely to lie in biotechnology's potential for enhancing the physical, mental, and emotional capabilities of humans themselves. Genetic knowledge is already being used to reduce deficits in newborn babies, but that is only the start in this improvement of our bodies and brains. In the years ahead, parents will use whatever new technologies become available to try to make sure that theirs is no ordinary son or daughter, but one that is superior in one or more ways. They may try to give their children musical capabilities of Mozart and mental abilities of an Einstein. Of course, other parents will be doing the same for their children. We can only speculate on what might happen if the world has millions upon millions of babies designed according to their parents' wishes. We might hope for millions of Einsteins, but get millions of Elvis Presleys. Human capabilities could also enhance if biotechnologists find a way to reduce our fatigue and sleepiness. At present, we have to sleep about 7 or 8 hours a day and take occasional rest during waking hours. Being forced into oblivious idleness 56 hours a week represents an extraordinary loss of time. Imagine what we might accomplish with an extra 8 hours every day to do our work, to care for our families, and have fun. A really effective cure for fatigue might trigger another techno-economic revolution all by itself. Another potential benefit of biotech would be the cure for aging. The aging process, seen as science, progressively robs us of our much vigor and capacity as we enjoyed in our youth. If we could retain our full useful vigor, our brains and our bodies for an extra 30 years, we might be able to accomplish twice as much in a lifetime as we do today and enjoy life more fully. A cure for aging also suggests the possibility of quasi-immortality. Death may not come for many centuries if certain trees, such as the Brismic pine of the American West, can live for several thousand years. Why can't we learn of the secret and find a way to apply it to our own benefit? By the year 2100, teachers may be telling their students, before the biotech revolution, people suffered terribly from enormous disabilities and most people died prematurely. Now, thanks to genetics and other biotechnologies, we are able to be healthy, strong, and intelligent, and we can look forward to many centuries of life. On the other hand, we must assume that biotech advances pose many risks and that there will be difficult choices for both individuals and societies. But where are we going? Our investigation of the Great Transformation suggests that it can be seen as the latest stage of humanity's cultural evolution. This evolution has speeded up enormously in recent centuries due to the rapid technological progress, which leads to massive change in the economy, government, and institutions of society. So we now have a partial explanation for the great transformation that we are experiencing, though we do not know what we are being transformed into. This metamorphosis seems to be proceeding faster than ever. In the next chapter, we will examine some of the most important trends in this great transformation and attempt to anticipate what might happen in the next few years. That's part 2. See you soon. Have a great day. Bye.